this is Emily. Thank you for coming to my channel. If this is your first time, please don't forget to smash that subscribe button. And to my already subscriber, thank you. This is going to be another video on my CEO journey, assisted living startup. If you are in the process of opening up your own assisted living, if you're thinking about it, you started and you have questions or unable to complete it, you've hit the right channel. Go down to the CEO journey playlist. You're going to see a lot of video that will be helpful to you. This video I will talk about what you need when you have your first client. So this is going to be your first resident intake. What information do you want to have ready before they move in? Because moving day should be as smoothly and less stressful for you and your resident, because you know they're coming into a new place. Maybe they just left their home or the apartment or another assisted living, so they're a little bit anxious as to where they're going. So you want to make sure you've taken care of everything that you can prior to moving day. So it should be focused on them just moving your things in, settling it down with your families and getting comfortable with you and your moving day. Hopefully you're in contact with the residents' family, whether it's the daughter, son, or cousin, whoever is the responsible party. Make sure, this is important, make sure you get your burial arrangements information together before they come in, because you never want to call a family when that happens and you then trying to figure out burial arrangement. They're already grieving, they're already in distress. That shouldn't be the conversation that you're having at that time. So make sure before they move in, they should be giving you the funeral home, the number, the responsible party, what to do in case the resident dies while they're at your facility. Have that straightened out before they move in. So this could be just, you know, filling in information from the responsible party and they email it to you, you print it out and you're good to go. The other thing that you want to do is your assessment and getting your level of care. So your assessment has to be done within 30 days before moving. So it cannot be after moving. You need to get your assessment. Hopefully you should have seen the resident, done your assessment, make sure that you are able to take care of that resident. You don't want to say yes without seeing the resident, and the resident moves in and you find out, oh gosh, you need more than your facility can provide. They don't want to go from place to place to place. So before you say yes to a resident, make sure you see that resident, do your own assessment, and that's going to be either your manager's assessment or your nursing assessment. That assessment is you're gonna need that to get your level of care. Usually the resident's physician will complete an assessment, you're going to complete your assessment, and then all of that information is going to put into the third assessment, which is the scoring tool. So wherever that resident gets added up and it gives a number. So based on that number, the state has it grouped into a level 1, level 2, level 3. So how high the number is puts them in a certain level, and that is how you know what level of care that resident is. Whether it's a level 1, they're very self-independent, don't need any assistance from you, or the level 3, they need help with everything, whether it's, you know, bath or dressing up, toileting, eating, pretty much everything they need assistance with, either minimal assistance or complete assistance. So every ADLs or every other activity that the resident needs to do, someone has to help them, either complete assistance or some form of assistance. So you need to know that before the residents move in, so you can adjust or plan accordingly for your residents. The thing that you will need is you find out, you know, exactly when they're moving in, the moving date. You're gonna find out who the residents PCP is, or the primary care physician, or the primary care provider, whether it's a PA, MP, or MD. You need to know who that is. if there's an incident at your facility, you need to know which provider to call and notify and get orders to what next to do. Because if there's a change in medication, or a resident goes to the hospital, or resident falls, so there's whatever incident that is, there needs to be somebody that you report that to. You can't just take that information and swallow it. The state's gonna find out, okay, your resident fell. Who did you tell? Did you tell the doctor? What did the doctor say? What did you do about it to prevent it? So you need to know who the PCP is. Sometimes also find out what insurance they have, because that's going to help with medication. Some residents have Kaiser. Sometimes Kaiser would have you fill that medication only at a Kaiser pharmacy. So if you take a resident and you already have a pharmacy that you work with, just keep it in mind that that resident that has Kaiser insurance, your medication or their medication will have to be sent to Kaiser pharmacy for refills or supply or all of that. So know the insurance too. If not most important, more important is the patient's MOLS form, the code status. You want to know, are they full code? Is it do not resuscitate? Are they hospice? You need to know if your resident moves in and they had the respiratory issues or they had a heart attack, are you going to start compressions or not? That needs to be clearly stated in paper, not word of mouth or verbally. You need to have documentation on what to do for that resident before they move in. So, because anything could happen once they walk in that facility, it could happen on the moving day or at night or the next day. So you need to have that documentation before moving day, so you can have the patient's chart set up ready. I think the other thing that might be helpful is if it's possible, maybe have the family members bring some of the residents' belongings. Because some residents want to bring in their own bed, they want to bring in some pictures. If they have bulky items that they can bring maybe a day before and have it in the room, so moving day should be just a little bit of the lighter stuff, maybe a lot of pictures here and there that they want to bring in over here. But if they can bring the bulky stuff the day before, so moving day should be less stressful, more focus on the residents settling in, that might be helpful too. So I think I've gotten through the main things that you need for your intake. You also need like your fact sheet, or which pretty much has the resident names, the allergies, medication, code status, emergency contact, what else? Social security number. I think that's it. So the fact sheet, just in case if a resident had to go to a hospital through 911, so that's what you're going to pull out and send to a resident. So you can have that done prior to them moving. Physician order form, you could do that at any time, but if you want to have a complete chart ready on moving day, you could get a physician order form. Pretty much is going to have an order of the patient's medication. You would also need the MAR. You could either prior to moving had faxed the medication list to the pharmacy and have them deliver the meds and the MAR to your facility, because the meds should be there on moving day, because you don't want the resident come in and miss the meds on the first day. So make sure that is faxed and done. The MAR is completed and ready to go on the first day that they're moving, so all their medications are there and ready for the resident to continue the meds. Because some meds, you cannot skip. Maybe you might skip a vitamin, but some other important meds, you can't skip them. So make sure your meds are delivered on time. And also, when finding your pharmacy, if you need to pick a specific pharmacy, make sure you look through a pharmacy that's able to, print those MARs for you, medication administration records. So make sure you have one that can print those for you, because that's the way your med tech is gonna complete the medication administration. Because when the state comes in, they're definitely going to look through the meds, see what the resident is given, see if it's documented appropriately, if the time coincides with what the doctor's order says. So make sure that's done too. Alrighty, I think that is all, or maybe the most important thing you need for your moving when you're getting ready to get your first resident. Those are the information I have in my residence chart, and I try to get those completed before moving day. So when moving day comes, I'm not worrying about documentation, signing this, signing that, and all that stuff. Oh, the other important thing is your resident agreement. That should be done or signed as soon as the family confirms that yes, your facility is the one that they want their loved one to move in. Have them sign that resident agreement. If it's not signed, it means they're not committed. They could change their mind at any time, and you don't want to lose another resident thinking this resident was going to move in and come to find out they find another place and they're not coming anymore. So once the family tells you, I love your facility, I want my mom or dad or uncle or auntie to move in your place, get your resident agreement signed. That way it's confirmed. They are serious about it and they're actually going to move in. So that is one thing that make sure is done before moving. You don't want to be disappointed on last day. Again, guys, I hope this was helpful for you as you get ready to receive your first resident at your facility. If this information was helpful to you, please let me know in the comment section. If you have any ideas of other videos, let me also know in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, so each time I post new videos, you'll be notified. Again, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.